I remember going to meet my pastor's wife, Pastor Diola Jani, and I was like, I don't like my dad. I know my dad to be this kind of person. Now I'm seeing him in this kind of person, and I would not say I've really experienced that personally.
Did that make you feel jealous?
Yes, a lot of times.
Yeah.
And she made a statement and said that he brought me up in the way he knew how to be a father. That was how he needed to be a father. So I'd gotten a haircut, barb a particular hairstyle.
Please tell us this.
I think it was is it Dallas? That was when Facebook was the tribe where we post our pictures, and I just posted it on Facebook. My dad saw it, and I was expecting that, okay, when he sees the picture, he was supposed to maybe just call me and talk to me. My dad went to the comment section of my post and scolded me in the comment section.
In the public.
I went to the post, I took the comment, I deleted it. And if I remember clearly, for like 2 months, we were not talking to each other just because of that incident. If you are waiting in that place for them to be remorseful, there will definitely be a number of people who will never come to that place to ask you for forgiveness. If you don't release yourself from it, it does more harm to you than to the person, in the long run.
If you've ever felt like less of a Christian because of your struggles, your doubts, your questions, or because your journey with God doesn't look as perfect as everyone else's, then you're in the right place. Because here we have honest conversations about the realities of following Jesus in today's world. There's no pretending, no Christianese, and no buzzwords. Just real stories, real lessons, and real conversations. Reminding you that salvation is not the end of the journey, but only the beginning. I am your host, Onyinye, and this is the Now That I'm Saved podcast. Let's get into today's episode. On today's episode of Now That I'm Saved podcast, we are talking about unforgiveness. Today, I am joined by Oluwasanmi, an executive assistant, business development professional, and communication strategist with experience spanning banking, media, project management, and brand communications. He is passionate about helping people and organizations turn vision into meaningful impact. Behind his professional achievements is a powerful story of healing. Growing up, Oluwasanmi navigated the effects of a distant relationship with his father, a journey that affected his self-esteem, identity, and left him carrying unforgiveness for years. If you've ever struggled to forgive someone who hurt you, or waited for an apology that never came, this conversation is for you. Join us as we explore what true forgiveness looks like, how healing begins, and the freedom that comes when we surrender our hearts to God. Hello, you, and welcome to yet another episode of Now That I'm Saved podcast. And today we'll be having a very interesting discussion around unforgiveness. Today we have Mr. Oluwasanmi Awe.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's so good to have you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Privilege.
So you're already an avid fan because I've been seeing your comments. And I'm very grateful for that, honestly. So he already knows what the game is about already. But there's a twist to it this time around. You and I are going to play the game, right? So we are going to ask questions, trying to guess the Bible character with... Don't worry, I'll lead you. So, yeah. Show me. Yes. Then with the other hand, just... So you hold it up until you guess it. Then I also... We'll pick one card. I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we now have to ask questions to guess who is there. So is my character in the Old Testament or the New Testament?
New Testament.
Okay, your turn to ask question.
Okay. Is it a he or a she?
Is female. She's female. You said it's in New Testament.
Yes.
Was my character in the Gospels?
Yes.
Female in the Gospels. Okay, it's your turn to ask.
Okay. New Testament or Old Testament?
Old Testament.
Old Testament.
Yeah.
She in the Old Testament.
She in the Old Testament. So, have I asked whether my character is male or female?
No.
Is my character male or female?
It's male.
Male New Testament in the Gospels. Is my turn to ask?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
I think
Was my character a disciple of Jesus?
No, but it was a friend to Jesus.
Was a friend to Jesus. And I missaid this question. Okay, your turn.
Is my a friend or a disciple too? No,
I mean, it's in
a
Old
she.
Testament, so it's a
So
she, and it's in Old
definitely
Testament, so a friend of Jesus. I think I know. Friend did. Okay, ask so that I can ask mine.
is my character. Is a name part of the names in the like the Bible names like
Does she
chapters?
have a
Does it have
book?
a book?
Okay,
Yes.
no, she doesn't have a book. Did my character meet Jesus?
Yes. He met Jesus.
You you hesitated before you said
He
yes.
met Jesus.
Okay,
I actually don't know what to ask again. Okay.
okay. What's
What's the can I ask the first letter? Like any letter, maybe the
Before we
first
get, I can give you a
alphabet.
hint. I can tell you the book in the Bible the person is in.
Okay.
Judges.
Judges.
Yes.
Judges. So I have a name in mind.
Okay, so let me go. Is my character is my character Apostle Paul?
No.
It was not an
Can I give you a
apostle.
hint?
Okay, give me a hint.
My hint is actually going to give up the entire answer.
Okay, no, wait, before we get there. Not Paul was not a disciple, but was a friend.
Yes.
Oh, Nicodemus.
No.
Go ahead.
My character Deborah.
Yeah. Yes, your character is Deborah. Yes, you got it.
Okay.
It's Deborah.
Okay.
Okay, so give me the hints that you wanted to give me.
He died and rose again. Jesus rose.
Oh,
rose again.
Lazarus. Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Once I said Judges, you just picked it up. Yeah. Was she the only female character that appeared in the book of Judges?
But like, she's
Yeah,
when
she's
you hear
very
Judges, you
popular.
know it's definitely
Yeah.
Deborah.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the game? Because
Yes,
I know you were
yes.
anticipating the game. I wish we had more time, would have played more.
No problem.
Okay, so the first, I know you've watched some of our episodes, so you definitely know the first question that we usually ask our guests. Here, we place more importance on what makes up a person, what they value, what their passions are, rather than what their name is and the many things that they've done in life, which is good.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we get to know you by your passions, your values, and your convictions, people know you better. So, can you introduce yourself to us without mentioning your name, what you do for work, or your titles? We want to know you by your passions, your values, your
Okay.
convictions.
Without my name.
Yes.
Okay. So just a young man. Likes writing, reading, traveling, structures. I like
Structure.
putting structures to things, like things being in their right
In their
where
right
they're
places.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have
That's-
Nigerian OCD? By Nigerian
No,
OCD,
I get what you're saying.
yeah.
I would say I think so. I think so because I like everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being where they're supposed to be.
But in a country like Nigeria, because I too like things being in place, I like structure. But growing older and just having more experience, I just learned that things don't go the way that they're supposed to go. So how do you react in those cases when
It's a lot. It's a lot. I have to learn how to just keep quiet.
and
just
unless it's going. So you love to read, you love to write, you love to travel,
yeah.
you love structure. What about your convictions?
Okay. I would say my convictions are the Holy Spirit. Firstly, then things that make me happy, and that at the same time makes God happy too.
Yeah.
Majorly.
Because it's very important, because there are some things that can make us happy,
Happy and not,
but they
yes.
don't make God happy. Yeah. So I and my friend, before we came here, we were having a discussion about how our childhood and experiences that happened during our childhood really shape the kind of
Definitely.
person
Yeah.
that we grow up to be today. So I wanted to ask, what kind of child were you looking back at your childhood?
Okay. So looking back, I used to be the very gentle boy. Like very gentle.
You say used to.
But I think I'm still gentle, but not
Okay.
like
Not like before.
even
Yeah.
before. So I used to be very gentle, quiet, easygoing, no troubles. No troubles in school, no trouble back at home. So I think that was the kind of child I was growing
Yeah.
up.
You're a very type A person.
Yes. Like
Your
car.
parents didn't have to worry about
No, no, no,
you being the black sheep of the
no, no,
family.
no.
So you had like a very normal childhood.
Yeah,
It was
normal
just, yeah,
childhood. Go to school, come back home. Simple.
yeah. Did I ever feel boring to you? Or it
At
was just the kind
first,
of
it
person you were?
wasn't. It was just like normal thing. But I think growing up, it actually now became like boring at some point because it was just the usual thing.
Yeah.
Just go to school, come back, do your assignment, stay indoors.
So we were always indoors.
Yeah, yes, yes.
At the point, was it because of your personality or because of the home that you grew up in?
So I later found out it wasn't because of my personality, but majorly because of I guess the home influenced
Yeah.
my personality.
Okay, so what kind of home? What kind of home was
So
that?
my
Because we've
my
had this discussion before, and I
yes.
know you're waiting for me to ask like the direct
So
questions.
I grew up in a home where everything was simple. Dad, mother, two elder sisters. Um, my dad was a pastor. My mom was a typical obedient housewife.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything was my dad. Come back from school. When my dad comes back from work, come out to say welcome, welcome back. Everybody disappears back to your room.
Yeah.
So it
There
was
wasn't
just
that whole, oh, how was your day?
yeah, there was
Yeah, there
nothing
wasn't
like that.
anything like that. Okay. So you've openly shared that your relationship with your father wasn't always healthy, right? Can you tell us what that looked like growing up?
Okay. I think at first it wasn't much of a big deal because I just felt okay. My mom was around, my sisters were around, but it was up until I needed to start making some life decisions,
Yeah.
getting into university, mixing up with different people from different backgrounds, different. I think that was when it became a big deal to me, and I actually now understand the importance of actually having a good relationship with. Because I think up until going into university, I can't remember sitting like this with my dad and having any conversation at all. It was
Yeah.
just about basic school, uh, paying of school fees, and it was just a normal. It was just a normal father
Yeah.
who I just know, but there was no connection
Yeah.
that's between both of us.
No connection, no
Yes.
relationship. Can we get like a so if someone was asked you to describe your dad now, can we get like a deeper insight into
Okay.
who your dad
So I would
was
say my
or
dad
is?
is a disciplinarian. I think that would be the first thing I would say. Uh, Someone who maintains authority and law in the house.
Yeah.
I want to use a particular word, and I would just say like, let me just say the lion of the house. Lion of the house,
Yeah.
basically. That was with my daddy, but at the same time, he was loving and you could see that he wanted the best for you in all he was
In his
doing.
own way,
Yes, in his
yes.
own ways. Those were the ways he knew how to do those
Yeah.
things. So that is who my dad is.
So can you so because I know that when we were speaking on the phone earlier, you gave examples. So when you say he was a disciplinarian, because I mean, we're talking about like how you had
Yes.
to forgive your dad, And I know that the story is not something that is just easy, just come and start saying blah blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
yeah.
And I get, but before we get there, we have to sort of like create a story. We have to paint a picture
Yes, yeah.
before we, get into that part, how he affected your how he affected you before
Yes.
we now get to the part where you now had to forgive. So you mentioned that he was a disciplinarian, and you also mentioned that he was, you know, a pastor in church and all of that. So one of the questions I wanted to ask is, do you feel like all his time and all his, will I say, emotion now was spent, in the church, like the church got a
Yeah.
version of your father that you wanted at
Wanted.
home?
I would say yes. And so at first, he was a pastor at a church, not his own ministry.
Ministry, yeah.
So, but by the time he became a pastor in his own ministry, I kind of saw like a different side of
him.
him.
Yeah.
The way he related to people, the way he spoke to people, it was more like you could see that shepherd side of him
Yeah.
in the way he was still firm, but he was now also a little more caring and calmer in the way he related with people. And it was something that back at home, we only saw some of those things, just glimpses of them. We
Yeah.
did not really see him in that full character until when he became like a full-time pastor.
Pastor. Yeah.
So that was the kind. So, and it was so funny because I know my dad to be this kind of person. Now I'm seeing him in this kind of person, and I would not say I've really experienced that kind
Yeah.
of person personally.
Did that make you feel jealous?
Yes, a lot of times.
Yeah.
A lot of times, because I saw church members relate with him in certain way that I
We're
could
not
not
was
relate
not
with
able.
him
Yes,
in that
the
kind of
son.
way.
Yeah.
So it was, I felt jealous multiple times.
Yeah.
And I started asking myself some questions, my sister's questions on,
Yeah.
okay, what exactly, I think at some point I started asking God
Yeah.
questions like, okay, I know you called him to be a pastor, but if I didn't get to see or enjoy these things
Yes.
that that he is now expressing to other people. So how sure am I to be able to say that, okay, if you called him, the relationship he has with you and he has with other people now, can I have that kind of relationship with you and with him too?
Yeah.
That's in that same way.
Okay, the next question I was about to ask you, which you've already answered, is so because of the way that you saw your dad and the way that he grew up, you mentioned that he was very strict. You didn't have like you never really sat down with him to like have conversations aside schoolwork, and I know that a lot of people right now can relate because a lot of Nigerian fathers tend to be like that. So did this at any point affect your relationship with God?
Yeah, a
In
lot
what
of
way?
times. I would say that, when you're a pastor's kid, there's a way that everybody expects you to
Behave.
live.
Yeah.
You are like, I would say, a prototype for the other kids around you, and everybody expects you to. So I remember when my dad became a full-time pastor, I love wearing shorts. So when we're going for midweek services, I like to just wear my shorts and just go to midweek service. But by the time he became his own church,
You couldn't do
they
that
started
anymore.
saying, you cannot wear shorts to church because other
People
people
are
are
weird,
looking
yeah.
at you. So you are the pastor's kid. So how would they see when the pastor's kid is wearing shorts to church? It was hard for me because I kept asking questions. Okay, I used to do this thing before. Why
Why
can I no
can't I
longer?
do it anymore?
So, and there's a part of me that was now trying to prove a point, and not a good point. The part of me that wanted to prove a point.
Yeah.
So at every point in time, I started questioning things that I do not naturally question.
Like what?
Like, okay, having to be in church at this particular time,
Yeah.
having to attend this particular, like, I had to be in different, have to be in church,
Units.
different,
Yeah, different
do
units
different
and
things
all,
in
yeah.
church, different times of the day, different hours of the day, because that is now like the life that I now have. So I getting into university, I remember that not from even from right from secondary school, you will always find me amongst the bad boys. I would be possibly like the only good boy among bad boys. And it was
Yes.
just because I was trying to just prove a point that, okay, even though I'm a pastor's kid, I can
Yes, I
still
can
do
do
these
bad
things
things.
and still be able to.
I know you stuck out like a sore thumb. I know you just didn't fit in.
Actually,
you
I
fit in?
never fit in. I never fit in because I was still serious with my studies.
Yeah.
I remember SS3, I was not serious with school fellowship. I went to a boarding house. I was not serious with school fellowship because I felt that was not what I wanted to.
Yeah.
But somehow, when they were picking executive at my school fellowship, they still picked me as an executive.
So all you were hanging out with bad guys. It did not work.
It did not work, actually. So and even in back going to university, my elder sister went to the same university with me. So she was just like, I would say that she was that person that was my anchor whenever I was maybe trying to veer off or just do some of
Yeah.
those things. She was just always there to remind me of
Yeah.
some things. So
Remember the
so
child of who you are.
exactly remember the child of who you
Yeah.
are.
So at what point or points did you have like, you know, misunderstandings with your dad, right? And when did you now notice that, okay, I really don't like this man, and you just started seeing, because I know that growing up, everybody already by default, you cherish and adore and you look
Yeah,
up to your
your
parents,
parents.
right? So at what point were you like, because I know that all these things did not just start one day. I definitely know that it built up. So at what point were you like, this man? I mean, I've been trained to love you and respect you,
Yeah.
but I don't feel that way.
I think it started when I came to the age where I could make some decisions for myself.
Yeah.
So I think the first one I can remember clearly was my 300 level in school. That was when like different hairstyles became common among guys in school.
Yeah.
Like you want to just explore and just try out some new things.
Pastor's kid.
So like growing up, my dad used to be the one to cut my hair
Okay.
up until when I now started saying no, I don't want him to.
To cut
I
your hair,
wanted
yeah.
to go to the salon myself. So I remember clearly I barb a particular hairstyle.
Please tell us this.
I think it was is it Galas? That was when it was like the popular
Trending,
to
yes.
trending. So I'd gotten a haircut and taking pictures. And that was when Facebook was like the tribe where we post our pictures. And I just posted it on Facebook. So my dad saw it and I was expecting that, okay, when he sees the picture, he was supposed to maybe just call me and talk to me. My dad went to the comment section of my post and scolded me in the comment section.
In the public
Exactly.
of everybody. Do
He scolded me on the comment section.
you remember what he typed?
I can't remember clearly, but I knew that it's like him just calling me out in public. And I went to the post, I took the comment, I deleted it.
Okay.
So I deleted the comments and acted like
Nothing happened.
I didn't call him. And if I remember clearly, for like 2 months, we were not talking to each other just because of that.
Because of the hairstyle,
Because of that incident. So my sister was the one that was. He called my sister, but I know that whenever he calls my sister, he still asks of me, but he never picked up the phone to call me to
call
ask
you,
of me.
yeah.
And he went on for like 2 months, and he took a friend of mine to now ask me one day that, have you called when last did you talk to your dad? I was
yeah.
like, I've not called him since. And she was the one, and I said, okay, pick your phone and call your
And
dad.
call him.
Sincerely, I can't remember what the first conversation went like. I just know that I called him to just, and I was like, I just called to check up on him. And that was now how we now started talking back
Yeah.
again. So that
was
particular
one
was
particular.
how it started.
So, as a pastor's kid, right? I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you posted that picture because you wanted him to see it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you were basically looking for attention from him.
Yeah, and I think validation. So to say.
Validation, exactly. Yeah.
Because I think I grew up to understand that okay, I was this timid young man who I remember clearly when I was in school. When a class is going on, I try to get to every venue, every class before the class starts, so that I can be seated. Because whenever the class is on, I don't like entering the class because I feel like
Everybody's eyes will be
is
on
looking
you.
at me, and I'll start checking out. Okay, am I wearing the right clothes? Am I dressed properly? So it was a big deal for me. So
Yeah.
I don't like going to class. So I think I started looking for validation in different
Ways,
places,
yeah.
friends. So I feel like the main reason I even barbed that hairstyle in the first place was to just be able to feel among with what was happening at that point.
So you're saying that your relationship with your dad, or lack of, was affected your esteem,
A
right?
lot.
You had low self-esteem
Yes.
because of it. So I mean, all of these things are happening. I know that there are even other examples that you. I don't know. I don't want to share it again because you shared it with me on the phone. But I know that this was something. This was a burden. This was something heavy that you were
Yes.
carrying for so many years. So was there? At what point did you now finally let go? Was he him that came to say, "Oh, I don't think I've been treating you right"? That one is just a fever dream because that can never happen in See the way- that can never happen in Nigeria. But when did you finally decide to let go of all that burden?
Okay. So I would say um about 2 years ago, about 2 to 3 years ago, um, was when I think I started taking my walk with God
More
more
seriously,
seriously. I was still like a pastor's kid, although that particular attack that used to even be something that none of my friend,
knew that you were
because
a pastor's
I
child.
wasn't proud to say I was a pastor's kid, and even people that knew I was a pastor's kid, if you call me a pastor's kid, there was a tag that I disliked. So I don't like people calling me using the tag pastor's kid
Yeah.
because I felt like I had a life that
Outside. I mean, they
outside
called my dad. They did not call me.
exactly. I used to say that a lot.
Yeah.
So if you call me pastor's kid, there's a way I'd reply.
Yeah.
So, but it was like about 3 years ago. That was where I joined a particular church.
You can call the
Yeah, I
church's
joined
name, please.
Petra
Yeah.
Christian Center, and started listening to messages and started understanding some things. And I think he started letting me know that it was more like it was actually a serious. I never saw it as it was a big deal, but it was something that I had gotten used to, and I just continued to live my
So you
life.
just carried on with the grudge and
Exactly,
just
just carried on
continued.
with it
Yeah.
and just allowed it to just be there.
Yeah.
And it was so bad that I don't know how to pick my phone and call my dad. And even if he calls me, he can call me and the phone will be here. It can take me minutes before I decide to. Because in my head, I'm already thinking of, okay, what happened?
What did I do
What are we
wrong?
going to exactly
Yeah.
what is the conversation going to be about
Like,
again?
yeah.
What are we going to be discussing? So I process everything before I pick my phone to even call him. And even if I call him, we can our conversations are not long.
2 minutes max.
1 minute, 2 minutes, we are done. It's just
Yeah.
how are you? How are you? That's all. We don't, and I never allowed myself to show my weakness to him too. So I couldn't be vulnerable with him. So I remember going to meet my pastor's wife, Pastor Diola Jani, and I was like, I don't like my dad. And I just like I was just listing the different things he did wrong. I like the various things. And she made a statement and said that that was all he knows. Like he brought me up in the way he
He
knew how
knew
to be a
how
father.
to.
That was
Yeah.
how he knew to be a father. So it was never his fault. I think that was the first time I sat down to actually process it and be like, okay, maybe this is actually true. Maybe he actually, because I know that also he wasn't, I wouldn't say my dad also had a good relationship with his own father too. Because I never even got to know who his father was. I only met his mom.
Okay.
So I can't clearly remember him having a good relationship with it. So he obviously brought us up in a way, in his own way of trying to protect us, his own way of trying to be a loving father. Those were what influenced his decisions and the kind of father he
Father, he
eventually
ended
became.
up being.
So I
Yeah.
think that was the first time I actually sat down to think about it. And I think that was when I now started trying to be more intentional, because she literally told me that if we were going to have a good relationship, I would be the one to make the move and make the effort, try to make it work. So I think that was when I started trying to make it, try to call, try to
Yeah.
just send him a random message or just checking on him. But it was still like very, 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 very hard, because there's still a part of me that I expected that okay, maybe he was going to come
Come around.
around one day. Maybe he's just going to understand that okay, I wasn't too good to,
Yeah.
and
To.
let me just maybe apologize or just be
Yeah.
more
I was even going
intentional.
to get to that because the next question I wanted to ask you was, did he ever become the father that you hoped he would be? And if not, how did you make peace with that?
Okay, so I would say he never. became the father I hoped he would be, but I think he became the father that I accepted and ended up loving
Yeah.
for who he is, because I believe that he gave a lot of he made a lot of
Sacrifices,
sacrifices
yes.
for me to be
Where you
where
are
I
today.
am today, and I came to understand to just accept that and love him for who he is, not
Yeah.
for who I actually want him
Wants
to
him to
be.
be. That makes so much sense. So I know a lot of people that be watching this now will probably relate, like I said before, your definition of your father is not far from what the typical Nigerian father is. Oh, there's food on your table, there are clothes on your
Yeah,
back, there's a
yeah,
roof
yeah.
over your head. Why do you want me to have discussions with you? I mean, so for all of them, it's just like I do my duties, I come home, I don't come home late, I don't womanize, I don't drink, I do what I'm supposed to do,
Supposed to
and that's it. If you want any vulnerability, go to
go
your
to your
mother.
mother.
But a lot of times they don't know how much having like a relationship with your father, like man to man, like
Yes, yes,
how
yes.
that really goes ahead to affect the way that you see life in general. So so now we want to get into like reasons why, or forgive unforgiveness, as a topic generally now, because we've painted the picture
Yeah.
and we know where you're coming from. So you have authority, right, to speak to people. So the one of the questions I want to ask is, so it's just weird, like, right? I was on my own, no, you hurt me. Now I now have to do the work to forgive you. So why should we forgive people? Why should people forgive people that hurt them? Especially in your case where it's like they never reckoned that, I was in the wrong.
Yeah.
Why should people do that?
I think is very important because um if you sit down to look at it, you are the one carrying the baggage,
That's so true.
because like, I'll paint an example of a bear that is inside a cage.
A bear.
A bed.
A bed,
A bed
okay.
inside a cage, and let's say an electrocuted cage.
Uh,
So there's a level to where that bird can express himself or herself inside that cage. I feel like that is what unforgiveness does to you, because you are carrying not just the load of the unforgiveness, but the people you think that offended you, they are possibly living
their best
their best
life.
life,
Yes.
and you are there bearing the burden of both their burden and
And
your
your
own
body,
burden. You are
yeah.
just carrying it all by yourself, and you just continue to go on like that, and you expect them to come one day and ask you for forgiveness, but that may never happen.
Yeah.
So I think that you are doing yourself a bigger good forgiving them than even for them.
For them,
So
yeah.
forgiving them is doing yourself a bigger good,
Yeah.
because he releases you
From
of
that cage.
the odds, the baggages you are carrying, and it just gives you freedom to spread your wings and just fly and
Fly,
enjoy
yeah.
the life that you have.
Yeah. That is so good. As Christians, it's even more unfair to some people. Because in the beginning I said Jesus said we should forgive 70 times
70
7
times, yeah.
in one day. The same person said if someone slaps you on one cheek, turn the
Turn the other
other.
cheek.
If someone says you should go 1 mile, you go 2 miles or 10 miles. So I think that already the life of a Christian, it's almost like anything anybody does to you, offenses will come, but
Definitely.
you have to do something about it.
Yes.
And looking at it surface level, it's like it's unfair, but like you said, it's doing yourself more
More
disservice if you
disservice.
don't
Yes.
release, if you don't let go. So, um, so some people, there's this common phrase, forgive and forget, right? So some people will say, I will forgive, but I will
I'll
never
never forget.
forget. And me, I'm of the opinion that if you forgive, you might as well forget, because unless you want to change the way that the emotions that you feel when you remember. But what is the point of remembering, right? When you're forgiving the
When you
person. But I
forgive
want
the
to know your
person.
perspective, right?
Okay.
What do you think? Should you forgive and forget, or
Oh,
should you
okay.
forgive and remember?
So for me, I think forgetting is hard,
Okay.
and because sometimes you see those people, but you still remember what they've done
To
to
you.
you.
Yeah.
But I think what works is, for me though, I would say that when you forgive them, you possibly still need to be in a place of prayer
Okay.
for them, so to say, because if the point is, you will not just immediately have an amnesia of
Yeah,
to the things,
that's
to what
true.
they've done. You see them and possibly still remember, but you now need to be conscious of, you know where you're going, you
Yeah.
know what God has called you to be, and you know that this is definitely something that is going to possibly hinder you from getting to becoming who God has called you to be.
To be, yeah.
So after you've forgiven them, you might still need to constantly pray for them to heal yourself and heal you of whatever trauma or
Or
whatever
trauma that the
remnants
person
that
has
you might
played.
still be having against them.
Yeah. So it's not like you actively sit down and keep on remembering. Oh, I remember. I've forgiven you. Oh. But
So
remember
I think
when you did.
it's not like you actively sit down and still remember, but
Yeah.
but by seeing them, or meeting yourself in some particular circumstances can trigger or bring back, okay, what this person has done for
Has
you,
done.
done for
Yeah.
against you.
So now, okay, removing this particular case that you unforgiveness that you had with your dad. Now we're looking at unforgiveness in
In
general. Let's say
general.
maybe between friends or between friends rather, right? So now there's a thin line between forgiving somebody and setting boundaries. So where will you draw the line where somebody has repeatedly done something over and over again, but as Christians, we are supposed to forgive and turn the other cheek and, do all of the gracious things that Jesus told us
Yes.
to do. So when you now draw the line and create boundaries and say, okay, I've forgiven you, but do you understand? You
There's a
can't do this
limit.
anymore because some people might now interpret this to now go back to the abusers or go back to abusive friendships and relationships, right? So can you just speak on
Okay.
that?
So I would say that there has to be boundaries in
Okay.
everything we do. I would say that I'm your friend now. She's your friend. There's a level to to how much or how well I know you, and to how well
She
she
knows
knows
me.
you.
Yeah.
So let's say that someone does something to me, I forgive you, we move on, you do it again, and I forgive you again, we move on, you do it the third time. That's it, the wisdom in it is me understanding that I now need to set boundaries so that it keeps you from offending me again, of repeating the same
Yeah.
thing. So there are people like we have our homes now. There are friends that we have that you meet them outside the gate.
They don't come into your
They don't
house
come with there are friends you have that, okay, you guys can be in the
in the
living
parlor,
room, the
but you
parlor.
can't come
They
into
can't
my
come into
room.
my room. And there
Yes.
are friends that we have that they can come into they can even wear your dress.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is the same way we must try to interpret or understand a
Yeah.
friendship with
Friendship.
people.
Yeah.
Understanding where to put everybody based on the relationship
Ship
and the
we have.
connection that we have with them.
Yeah. That is so good. So I think another place you have authority to speak to is, so what is so intriguing about your story is that your dad never came out to apologize and say, "Son, I'm sorry." So how does one forgive somebody that never apologized or was never sorry or was never remorseful?
Okay. So I would say that God allowed Jesus, his son, gave his son to come and die for us.
Yeah.
Even when he wasn't sure we were going to accept
Him.
his death.
Yeah.
Like Jesus could have just died and we would have just moved. Everybody would
Yeah.
have
Move
just
on.
moved on, and we would not. So he had to take that chance and just expect that there are certain people that would accept him as their Lord and personal Savior, that his
Yeah.
death would count for some
Yeah.
particular people. So we say that if you are waiting in that place for them to be remorseful, there will definitely be a number of people who will
Never be
never be
remorseful.
remorseful,
Yeah.
who will never be remorseful, who will never come to that place to ask you for forgiveness. But you must allow the Holy Spirit in you, or allow, you know where you're going. There are some baggages that is going to be an hindrance to where God is going to take you to, the
Yeah.
positions that you're supposed to get to. There are some things that if you don't forgive, there are some conversations you will not be able to piece to have with a heart that, okay, I've let this person go, I've overcome these challenges, I've gone past this sin that this person has done against me. So you must be able to allow yourself to uh, have a renewed mind to constantly be able to allow people, release yourself from any unforgiveness, release yourself from any sin that anybody has done against you. Because if you don't release yourself from it, it does more harm to you than to the
Down
person
to the
in the
person.
long
Yeah.
run. It does a bigger harm to you than to that person.
Yeah. What's just coming to my mind now is, all those Nollywood movies where at the end of the day, the person that showed you wickedness will
Wickedness.
now be, I will confess, I will confess.
There's something
But
my pastor will say that
yeah.
God is not a hired assassin. It's not a
Yes.
that kill this person, but he
God,
did
yeah.
something against me. My pastor will say he's also a son of God. It's God that
Yes.
created him. So you are the way you picture it, it definitely will not
Yes.
happen that same way.
Those Nollywood movies are so funny because they always painted it like at the end of the person that did you bad will finally.
Finally,
But
there
then
is
in real life, it's not always like that. The person that you might have done you harm will be flourishing. Every day their skin will be
the
glowing.
guy that broke your heart.
The guy that broke your heart,
We have a beautiful relationship. You get married.
will get married
Give
before
birth,
you
and
give
you still
birth.
be there holding it against him while
Yeah.
he's already living a
I
good
think I
life.
even understand that your cage analogy even more now because it's like you've allowed your emotion and allowed your grudge to just
Yes.
keep you
You
in a
you no
spot.
longer see the good in people around you because
Yes.
of what one person
Did
has done to
to
you. You hold on to that and it becomes a wound that you would unable to heal from.
yeah. Another thing that's also coming to my mind again because the Bible was really so they gave so many examples about forgiveness. I'm remembering that servant now that owed the king a lot of
Enough
money,
money.
and the king forgave
Forgive him.
him. Yes, but then he now
He
went
now
out.
went out.
He was just coming out from the king's palace, so he now saw another
Another
servant
person
that
that
was
was
owing him
only
just a
just
fraction, and he told him to, go and put him
now
in
put
until
him
he
on his
pays
face.
everything. You know, and we know how the story ends. The king hears of it, he locks him up and tells him he must pay for every
Yeah.
dime. And the moral of the story is that God, our heavenly Father, has already forgiven
Forgiving
us,
us.
of all our sins. So why can't we extend,
Extend,
that
yes,
same
that same
grace
grace
to other
to other
people?
people.
Thank you. It's like this thing is for me. So let me go home. I gotta forgive all the people that I've put in a cake. So what will you say to that person? So right now you're speaking to people now that are holding grudges against people that they once loved. What will you say to that person that wants to forgive people but they don't know how to go about it?
Okay. I was about to say that forgiveness is like a journey.
Okay,
It's not
yes.
something that you say I've forgiven this person and you just expect yourself to overcome, not remember it. It's a journey. But it's just when you come to that decision and you tell yourself that, okay, if God can forgive you and not uh, see it and use it against you. There's an analogy my pastor will say that when your forgiveness with God is like, it's not like you write something on the paper, you now use eraser to clean
To
it.
clean it, yeah.
It still sometimes leaves, but it's more like a clean slate. So when you definitely will come to that place where you still remember those things,
Yeah.
but when you come to that place when you made that decision that, okay, I'm not going to let this be a baggage, I'm not going to allow myself hold on to these things, I've forgiven this person, is something that you must still do
Daily,
constantly.
yeah.
It's something that you must still do. You see them again and you remember that thing and you tell yourself that you're forgiving this person and you're not going to allow whatever they've done to you
Yeah.
to be an issue or to affect what God is doing or the relationship you have with them. So forgiveness is a journey, it's something that you have to do constantly.
Constantly. Thank you so much for that. That's really insightful because
Thank you for
some people think it's just, oh, snap. Like,
this.
yes, it's
It's
a
just like a
journey.
wound. A scar will
Yes,
still be there for some
yes,
for a
for a
few
long
more
time.
years, months before.
And then every time you look at it, you're like, but at a point, I get what you're saying. At a point, you don't, the emotions that you used to feel when you look at those cars, you don't feel
Yes, you
them
don't feel them
anymore.
anymore.
So I even forgot to ask. So, what is your relationship with your dad now? Like,
So just like I said, that is a journey. I would say that we both now are making conscious effort to. I would not say we are there yet,
yeah,
but we both are making conscious effort because there are some things he wants to ask me. I would let me say an example. There was a conversation he had with my sister, my elder sister, that he was supposed to have asked me
with,
directly, but he somehow asked my elder sister, and because my elder sister, me and my elder sister, Kenny,
yeah,
we talk a lot.
yeah.
So I had already told her how the thing happened. So it was my elder sister that now told him that, oh, this thing happened though. So it was when he heard that, oh, this was what happened. That was when I think I now texted him. So I woke up one particular day and I just felt like the Holy Spirit asking me to be vulnerable with my dad, just tell him what is happening,
Yeah.
like how is life going generally. So I just texted him and just told him, okay, like I was actually going through a lot at that particular time, and I was just talking to my father, literally in that text message. I just sent him a
Very
long
long.
message, and when he read it, he just said, "Can I call you?"
Oh wow.
And when he called me, he just like he was now asking about different things. Okay, what
Yeah.
happened? So I'd actually just came out of a breakup,
Oh.
and they knew about the relationship, but I did not tell them. I did not tell him and my mom that okay, this had happened. It was
Yeah.
my sister that told him. So when he
Okay.
called me, he was asking, okay, what actually happened? He was not trying to know,
Oh.
okay, what happened? So that was when I now was able to tell him, okay, this was what happened, and this has how things has been going. So, and that is the place of also allowing the Holy Spirit to direct you.
Yeah.
Because if I had not sent that message, we wouldn't have been able to have that conversation.
Conversation
So
with
I would say
you.
that we both are making conscious effort to be able to now build that connection and build that relationship.
That's I'm so happy to hear that. That's so good. So
Yeah.
the fact that he called you and you guys spoke, I'm very sure that throughout your childhood, that was what you were looking
Yeah,
for,
yeah, yes,
you know.
yes,
And I know
yes.
that there were times we also prayed for him, even when you didn't feel like praying. And I just feel like this was one of the answers
Answered
to
prayer,
your
yes.
prayers. Yes, that's so good. We're actually coming to the end of the episode, and I'm sad. And I'm sad. I've exhausted all my questions here. So off the top of my head, now because you know earlier when we were laying a foundation, we said that childhood experiences kind of shape the people that we turn out to be as adults. But sometimes it's also lack of experiences that you want to compensate for. So right now, what kind of father do you think you're going to be to your children when you think about it?
So, I used to boldly say that there are certain things I saw my dad do that I definitely will still do,
Yeah,
but there are certain things that I would not want to do.
to do. Yeah.
But the funny part is there are some things that we unconsciously there's a way you
Yes,
can unconsciously become what you say you don't
you
want
don't
to
want
be.
to become.
You
Yes.
don't even know, but you're already portraying those characters. You already because you spend the longest part of your
Yes.
life in that environment, and you've unconsciously pick up those things. So I think the is consciously sitting down and analyzing. Okay, who are you? What kind of traits did you see in your father that you think is worthy to be emulated,
Emulated.
and
Yeah.
what are the ones that you feel like okay he can be better,
Yeah.
and trying to now be conscious about the steps you take, the decisions you make to become that kind of father that you want your kids to be. And it may have to be you listening to messages being submitted to people that you see as worthy examples that have things that you think you need to learn to now be able to become that kind of father when the time comes to.
Yeah. I mean, this one you're now preaching because I asked you. I mean, I get all that you said, and it's so profound, though. But now, from your personal experience, you now, what kind of father are you going
Father.
to be?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm putting you on the spot.
No problem. So I would say that um I would be a father that my kids can talk to about everything.
Very important.
About everything. I want to be their best friend.
Very important. Yes.
I want to be their best friend. I know that it's easier said than
Than done.
done, but it's something that I am trying to consciously work towards because I am someone that doesn't like confrontations. So when you do something that I don't like, I swallow it. I allow it to stay. And I remember one particular incident happened. I spoke to one of my pastors about it, and he was like, "What if you, by the time you grow up, you get married, you give birth to children, your wife or your kids do something you don't like, and instead of you to communicate it to them and talk to them about it, let them see why, okay, you're going to just swallow it up and it's not going to be reflecting in how you relate with them. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to consciously build myself, learn to be so that I can be because I want to be their best friend. I want them to be able to talk to me about literally everything. Even when they do something that is wrong, they should still be able to come to you. I would say that you should still be a home to them, even when they are outside there and they are going outside to the world and seeing different. They should our
Be able to
parents. You
come
should
home.
still be the home to them.
Yeah.
So I think that's the kind of father.
That's so good. Amen to all your prayers.
Amen.
It would all come to pass.
Amen.
So, guys, I think that brings us to the end of this episode on unforgiveness. I hope that you watching this, you have resolved in your heart to let go of that grudge and unforgiveness that you have against anyone, remembering that it's doing you more good than the person
Yeah.
that you're holding the grudge against. Don't be that bird in an electrocuted cage, right? So if you've gotten to this part of the video, you'll be doing yourself a great disservice. I will grudge with you. And I don't think I'll forgive easily. Don't mind me, I'm joking. But please like, share, subscribe, send this video to somebody that you know that needs to forgive or let go of one hurt or the other. Especially if the person that they're trying to forgive doesn't even reckon that they did anything
Yeah.
to them. Please join hands with me and beg people to subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Subscribe and share with your friends. It's going to help someone in different ways that you did not even expect. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sam.
Thank you very
And
much.
until next time, I remain your host, Onyinye, and this is the Now That I'm Safe podcast. Bye.